Good morning, children. Today in this class, we will discuss the vocabulary and the book exercises of the chapter The Tiger. So, The Tiger is written by William Blake, and this poem is about a tiger. Here, the tiger is symbolizing the evil. This tiger is not the tiger that you exactly see in zoo. This tiger is illustrating the danger, the terror that exists in this world. Here, through the medium of tiger, the poet has asked a series of questions to God. We all know that this whole world is made by that Almighty, that divine power that is known as God. He has made everything in this world, whether it is good or bad, and each one of them is magnificent with its uniqueness. Okay, so they all are appreciated because of the quality that they possess. So here the poet William Blake is somewhere puzzled. Why he is puzzled? He is puzzled to see that God, where in one hand God has created the humble, cute, soft, gentle animals like rabbit, your giraffe, and lamb. On the other hand, he has created the dreadful animals also as a tiger. So that is why here in this poem he has asked a series of questions like what was the strength, what was the idea, how he has got the material, what were the tools that have helped the god to create this fearful animal. He has asked that from where he got the fire to create the burning eyes of the tiger. Then the poet has given the reference of the hammer, furnace, anvil, that what were those tools by which he has given the shape to his brain. In the second stanza, the poet has talked about the strength and the talent of the god, that he has shown in creating the powerful body, the strong body of the tiger. Okay, so that all we have, uh, we came to know when we read the poem The Tiger. Let's read it once again, then I proceed towards its vocabulary. Sorry. Tiger, tiger, burning bright in the forest of the night, what immortal hand or eye could frame thy fearful cemetery? Cemetery, I told you, is symmetry means it's a combined feeling of, means having, dividing something in equal two halves. Okay, and having quite similar, have the similarity in both the parts. Okay, then in what distant deeps or skies burn the fire of thine eyes? On what wings dare he aspire? What the hand dare seize the fire? And what shoulder and what art could twist the sinews of thy heart? And when thy heart begin to beat, what dread hand, what dread feet? Means when the heart of the tiger has started beating, when the life came to this creature, what were those hands, what were those feet that have hold that beating heart? What the hammer and what the chain? In what furnace was thy brain? What the anvil, what dread grasps, dare its deadly terrors clasp? Then here in this stanza, the poet has asked that what was the hammer and the chain and the furnace and the anvil, sorry, where the his brain has been given the shape, and what word and what dread grasp dare its deadly terror clasp, and how the god has hold the terror, the horrible feeling that he has got at the sight of that tiger. When the stars threw down their spears and watered heaven with their tears, did he smile his work to see? Did he who made the lamb make thee? In this stanza, the poet has asked the God, the Creator, that was he happy to see the creation, this fearful creation that he made, the tiger. And he is somewhere, the poet is somewhere shocked also, that is that creator same who has made the lamb also, and the same creator has created the tiger also. So it is quite contradictory for him, that they both are entirely different animals. There is no similarity between the tiger and the lamb except one, and that is their creator is same. Except this similarity, they don't have any other quality where we can keep them in the same class. So that is why the poet is too surprised to know that they both have been created by the same Almighty, and how that same Almighty has created two entirely different creatures in this world. Tiger, tiger, burning bright in the forest of the night. What immortal hand or eye dare frame thy fearful symmetry? Okay. Now let's talk about the vocabulary of this chapter. Children, overall, this chapter is very simple, is written in a very easy language. Okay, so I don't think that any of you have found any problem with any of the stanza while reading. Even then, the words that I found that could be new for you or good to know, I have sorted out. Let's come to the first word. The first word is immortal. Immortal means living forever, means that the one that is not going to die, जो कभी मरेगा नहीं, that is not going to finish ever, that is known as immortal. So can you think over that what is immortal in this word? Yes, except God, nothing is immortal in this world. Everything has an end except that Almighty. Only the divine power is immortal, and that is why when in the poem, when we read this word immortal, so through this word the poet has given the reference to God only. This immortal word is used for God in the poem. So what is the meaning of immortal? Immortal means living forever, जो अमर होता है, the one who never ever going to die, जो अमर है, that is immortal. Okay, now the second word is symmetry. Symmetry means proportion between parts. If you divide anything in two halves, and if both the parts are similar, so they have a symmetry. दोनों एक जैसे हैं, that is symmetry. So symmetry means when something is divided into two halves and both are quite similar. Now here in the poem, the poet has used symmetry word for the tiger. Okay, so here this symmetry is not the similarity. Here this symmetry is what? The symmetry is between the terrifying features and the beauty that tiger holds. Means as beautiful it is, as terrifying also the tiger is. Okay, means as much dangerous the tiger is, that much beauty is also lying in this creature. So that is why symmetry word has been used. Now the next word is thine. Thine means belonging to or old form of yours. In simple language, thine means yours. Like it is an old English word, thine. Okay, now the writers don't use this word. In the place of thine, what do we use? Yours. So what is the meaning of thine? Your. Wherever you use Your, you can use thine, but as it is an old English word, so now we don't use it. Cleared? Now, the next word is aspire. Aspire means be ambitious to achieve. Motivation, giving to someone motivation to get something. So aspire something. किसी को मोटिवेशन देना, प्रोवोक करना, टू गेट समथिंग, कुछ अचीव करने के लिए जब आप मोटिवेट करते हैं तो दैट इज एस्पायर. ओके, like your parents, your teachers keeps on aspiring you to get something in life, to do something in life. So we keep on motivating you, we give this fire, we aspire you people to get your that target, to achieve something in life. Anvil. Anvil is a metal block with a smith which a smith uses to shape metal. Here on my screen you can see a picture, children. Here the person is molding the iron stick on a surface. So that surface that you see, that is anvil. Okay, so the surface on which the metals, the hot metals are given shape, that base is known as anvil. And you can see a hammer also in his right hand. So with the help of hammer and the support of the anvil, the blacksmith is giving the shape to that iron rod. Clear? Now the next word is fearful. Fearful means feeling or showing fear. Now see, children, the fearful can be used in both the sense. जब आपको डर लगता है, then also the other is fearful. जब आप किसी को डरा रहे हैं, then also you are fearful. Means डर लगना और डराना, both could be fearful. As it is written na, feeling means आपको डर लग रहा है. Showing fear means आप दूसरों को डरा रहे हैं. So for in both the sense we can use fearful. Okay, so fearful means feeling or showing fear. Now next is furnace. Furnace is an appliance fired by gas or oil. Here you can see on the screen a furnace, the picture of a furnace. Okay, in easy way, in our home we have the burner, the gas, or वो चूल्हा that is made of mud where the food is cooked. वो चूल्हा भी आपका furnace ही है, a kind of furnace. Okay, now clasp. Clasp means grasp tightly with one's hand. अपने हाथों से जब आप जोर से हाथों से पकड़ते हैं, so that you clasp. Means just imagine that you are terrified because of something, some creature. You have seen a lizard or a spider or something, and you are terrified. So what do? You clasp the person standing next to you. कस के आपके बगल में जो भी खड़ा होता है उसको कस के होल्ड कर लेते हैं हैंड से. So what you exactly do? You clasp the person. So what is the meaning of clasp? Clasp means grasp tightly with one's hand. Okay. Now seize. My ninth word is seize. Seize means take hold of, taking the control of something. That is seize. किसी चीज को अपने कंट्रोल में लेना, that is seize. For example, like the police has seized the area where the crime has taken place, or the government has seized the property of the culprit, or I have seized the belongings, the accessories that belongs to me. So seize means taking in your authority. So in the first sentence, when the police has seized the area, the police has taken the authority, the control of that area. In the same manner, when government has seized the property of the criminal, so he has taken the control of his property. Same as I have seized the accessories that belongs to me, means the things that are mine, जो मेरी चीजें थी, I have seized, I have taken the control of those things. So seize means taking the control of something, अपने right में ले लेना. Thy and thee. Look at the 10th word, that is thy or thee. Thy or thee means they are the old English word and they means your. Okay? Thy property, thee property, their property. Okay? Your. Fine? Now let's come to the exercises, book exercises. The first exercise is answer the following questions. Okay? Now, how does the poet describe the tiger in the first stanza? So the poet associates the tiger with the fire in the first stanza. Tiger को fire से associate किया है the poet ने. So the poet associates the tiger with fire in the first stanza because of their similar characteristics. Both are violent, destructive and wild. What is the similarity between tiger and fire? दोनों ही violent होते हैं, destructive होते हैं और wild होते हैं. It's hard to control them, and wherever they stand they create destruction, and violent means they are very destructive in the same sense. Okay, so that is why the poet has associated tiger with fire. Second question is, why does the poet use the word immortal? Very easy. The poet uses the word immortal in the reference to God, the Almighty, who can only create such a ferocious animal. Okay. Now, why does the created need a hammer or a furnace? Why does he need a hammer or a furnace? The creator needs a hammer and a furnace to create the frightful nature of the tiger. Okay? To create the frightful nature of the tiger. Next question. What is the central theme of the poem? What is the central theme of the poem? So the poet wonders at and appreciate the unique and magnificent creations of the nature and the creator who made it. Let's come to the fifth question. That is, the poem presents many questions. At whom are these questions directed and why? किससे questions पूछे हैं author ने? The God. So the author appears to be asking the series of questions to the tiger whose appearance in the night has filled the nature with fear and awe. Okay, here in the direct way it is the questions have been asked to the tiger, and they are associated, means the creator has not been described here. The author appears to be asking the series of questions to the tiger only, okay, whose appearance in the night has filled the nature with fear and awe. Now next question is, why is the speaker puzzled to see the tiger? The poet is puzzled that the creator who made all the nature should make the ferocious tiger. All the nature means here the poet is talking about the humble animals, okay, the gentle animals. Then what is the connection between the tiger and the lamb? Only one connection I told you, the creator is same. The poet is amazed at the fact that the creator who made the lamb, the gentlest of the creature, would also make the tiger who is known for its power, strength and fierceness. Now let's come to exercise B. Read the lines. It's a reference based questions. Read the lines from the poem and answer the questions that follow. And the lines that have been picked from the poem are, and what shoulder and what art could twist the sinews of thy heart, and when thy heart begin to beat, what dread hand and what dread feet. So who is referred to in this stanza? Who has been referred to? What is this poem about? The tiger only. Okay, then what qualities of the creature are reflected in the first two lines? Like, and what shoulder I told you, the strength, and what art, the talent. So, what talent the tiger possesses? The fierceness. Why are the hands and the feet described as dreadful? So the hands and the feet. What are the hands and the feet of the tiger called? Paws. Am I right? Yes. So the hands and the feet or the paws. See, or the paws have been given. The paws of the tiger are described as dreadful because they bring death to the prey of the tiger. Okay, then what is poet's feeling towards the creature he is describing? How is the poet feeling? The poet is awestruck. He's shocked, surprised, puzzled. Okay, these are the synonym of awestruck, you can say. Okay, puzzled, shocked, awestruck, surprised. Now let's come to its C section, children. Its critical appreciation. This part is not supposed to be done in notebook. Okay, it is only for discussion. Just to add extra information to your knowledge. Look at the first question. Give some examples of alteration from the poem. Alteration means, what are we talking about? The figure of speech. The poem has only two figure of speech, the metaphor and alteration. So here they are asking the examples of alteration. What is alteration? Where the same sound or the same alphabet is repeated. So let's pick the examples. From the first stanza, the very first line, burning bright, the repetition of B sound, B. Okay, burning bright. So here the alteration is used. Then look at the second stanza, the very first line, distant deeps. So distance deep, again the repetition of D alphabet, same sound. So these are the two examples of alteration. Look at the second question now. List some of the words that the poet uses to describe the work of creation. Means where you get an impact that the something is created. So what are the lines where you can get the meaning कि हाँ कुछ create हो रहा है, कुछ बन रहा है. So what are the lines? Frame thy fearful symmetry. Frame is create. Here it is create. So frame thy fearful symmetry. Okay. The other word is twist the sinews of thy heart. Again, twist. Twist is giving the shape or creating. What are they creating? The sinews of thy heart, the muscles of the your heart. Okay. Then dread grasp. Dread grasp means grasp is something where holding. So that terrifying feeling. Okay. So these are the words. Frame thy fearful symmetry, twist the sinews of thy heart, and dread grasp. These words describe the work of creation in this poem. Now the third question is, what impact does the questions have on the reader or the listener? So they build up the image of the tiger as a magnificent and dreadful creature that only an all-powerful creator could have made. Here reader means if you are reading the poem or whether you are listening the poem. So what impact does the question have? What image do you get on? So what do you think after reading the poem, the way the poet has described the tiger, that it is a dreadful animal, so you get an idea of its strength. You can imagine that how a fearful animal it is. And the god who has created such a strong, powerful, terrifying animal must be having all the qualities, all the parts. That is why only he was able to create such animal. Now the next question, the last question is, what is the effect of the repetition of the first stanza of the poem? The first stanza is again repeated at the last. Okay, the all over there are six stanzas. So the first and sixth stanzas are same except one word. In the last line, the first stanza where could is used, in the last stanza dare word is used. So, what is the effect of the repetition of the first stanza of the poem? So, the first stanza presents the poet's great desire to know who could have created the fearful tiger. Even the last stanza is repeated with one small change. And what is that small change? Could is replaced with dare in the last stanza. So, where could shows the wonder of the poet on the creation of the tiger, dare refers the poet's wonder on the ultimate power of the creator. Fine? So, exercise A and B will be done in notebook, a part of about the tiger and the word meanings also. I want all the children to learn the 8 lines, the first 8 lines of the poem. If it is possible for you to learn the whole poem, well and good. Okay? Now, that's all for today's class, children. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.